Machete.
Yes.
A common knife. A switchblade. Or a kitchen knife. These are just some of the weapons that you might face on the street.
Unfortunately, no one will tell you that the approach and the challenges that each of these weapons pose might be different. But to teach us today, with us, we have Acharya Raghu. Today, what he teaches us will be based on years of real-life combat and fight experience, and it might just save your life. So make sure you watch until the end and listen carefully.
First of all, we must stop generalization of all the sharp-edged weapons as one single knife. As I say in most of the videos, teaching the self-defense technique, they show one knife. These are the weapons that generally you find in the street fights across the world, particularly in Southeast Asia and in India, right? In the absence of a gun culture, these are the weapons widely found in the street. This is a machete, a bush knife. This is a different one. And we have a 6-inch of knife. This particular thing is a different one, right? And we have here a switchblade, right? A switchblade. This is a completely different one, right? And then this is a different kind of a kitchen knife. How can we generalize every weapon into the same thing, right? You'll be surprised. I will try to show you one more weapon which you might have not seen it, right? Right. Even this is used as a weapon in the street fight. Each weapon is used in a different way. For example, when you look at this 6 inches of knife or a switchblade, right? When I launch an attack on him, right, and strike, then I can switch my hands, right, and then just, right. But the same cannot happen with a machete. Yes, he's launching an attack on me, right? I wrap around. Now you watch that he is not able to switch the way how a 6 inches knife can be switched. It cannot be that fluid. The reason being, number one, the weapon is heavy to switch the hands. Number two, the weaker hand, what you have here is the left hand, cannot handle this heavier weapon as efficiently as the right hand. And the third thing, watch up the weapon. One side it is completely blunt, whereas only the other side it is sharp. So it has its limitations. So each weapon has its own limitations, advantages and disadvantages. So the make is different, size is different, shape is different, and the sharpness what it has also different. Right. Wait till the end to find out some of the useful tips and some techniques to safeguard yourself from one of the weapon. Today, since I can't teach about every weapon, today I'll be just teaching you about a machete or a bush knife, or we call it as a long or a machu in different parts of our country. Now the question is, who will be using this weapon? This weapon is certainly not used by a pickpocketer. This is used by the organized criminals, gangsters, if not an impulsive attacker in rare case.
What is the psychology of the attacker?
Right. What is the mindset of the person that who is bringing this kind of knife? How you should be prepared? This person who is coming, as I said, is a gangster, is completely bold, prepared, wild enough, often drunk and loaded with the drugs. He is not cunning, he is very bold. And another important thing when it comes to the person's mind is that he is not scared of the law.
What kind of an injury we might expect?
What kind of an injury that we can, or what are the target points? Mostly it will be going to be a violent charge, right? A violent charge. And mostly it is going to be a swings, the wild swings, deeper stances, deeper attacks and forceful entry. This is what you are going to expect from this weapon. When it comes to the question of where these attacks can take place, since the gangsters or the organized criminals, they have certain motive. So they are not going to attack in a deeper, dark gullies or the streets in the night, but these attacks are going to be in the broad daylight. When the crowd is watching, in the streets, in the crowded places. Why? Because they want to make a statement. Now, I'll give you some basic and some elementary defense techniques. And what are the do's and don'ts, that some of the things, like a few points that you must remember while facing this weapon. The first thing is, try to run away from the situation if it is possible whenever you see this. If it is not possible, then when you are forced to defend yourself, what tips that you are supposed to take and how can you face this weapon? Number one, the attack is going to be very heavy. And the swings that what he will be using, it will be very heavy swings. Like when you are coming, right, I have to be stronger, determined, right? The next thing, once the attack is coming, never you try to block this with a single hand. As in some of the videos I find, come, don't do this. This is quite fatal because it can overpower and come over your head, right? It can overpower and come over your head. Always try to use your double hands. Remember, this is the second point, that you are going to use the double point. Double hands, right? Never a single hand. And the second hand is readily available for a strike. The next thing is that with these heavy weapons and the very fatal weapons and lethal weapons, there is no second chance. You can't go for a second kind of a counter attack. Therefore, what happens is, what is the mantra here, right? You have to be very quick. This may be very difficult for you to do this lock, but we'll teach you how to do it. But this has to be split second one. As he is coming. Right, come. That. Slow. You cannot escape. You cannot. Sit down. Come. Yes, then here. It takes fraction of a second to lock. After having performed your lock, if in case you can do it, like, come, I'm just doing the lock now. Do not stop your counterattack with only a lock, right? This must be further followed. Do not hesitate to attack the vital organs like a this, that, right? And try not to hesitate to take his machine down. Next point is that, unlike other defenses, what we see in the other weapons, here, never be nimble-feeted, never be fleeting feet, ground yourself well, right? For example, you don't adopt this system with this. This is quite dangerous. You don't be very nimble-footed. This is quite dangerous. This is not applicable here. You have to be well prepared. You have to be deep-rooted, right? And one more thing is that here what works is not the speed. Here what works is your strength and the power with a heavy weapon. What are the disadvantages? Number one, the weapon has only one side sharp edge. The other side is blunt. Number two, it's being a heavy weapon, it cannot be used for a short slashes, right? It cannot be used for a stab. So options are limited in this weapon, right? As he is doing it, but once it goes to his backhand, unless he turns the weapon other side, it is useless. So here what happens, this is the place that where you can trap him. The another important thing is, the most important thing, this weapon being a heavy and longer cannot be concealed. Right? Unlike other weapons, this weapon cannot be concealed. So one of the great thing that what you need in a street fight is a element of surprise. That surprise is taken away because the moment you see in his hand, you know that already you are prepared. Remember, at the end, this knowledge and experience is sharper than the sharpest of these weapons. Next, I'll be explaining about other weapons in the future videos. Kindly give a thumbs up and press the subscriber button to encourage me.